I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Although on the flip side to that again, it's probably, with the injury problems we've had, it's probably actually come at quite a nice time for us to a certain extent.
Also nice to be top of the league for 2 weeks as well.
I know, enjoy it. Get your screen caps in while you can, like, you know what I mean? Get your photos in. Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah. So anyway, obviously, welcome if you joined us on YouTube for this show. Subscribers have had it a little bit earlier. Let's start by talking about the actual opponents. Swansea. Chris, we've played 3 games so far in the Premier League this season, and although Man United was one of them, I actually feel that Swansea City, in some respects, is actually probably the biggest challenge we've faced in some ways so far. And I mean that in that we're probably gonna have to try and play some football for a change, as opposed to sort of trying to necessarily grind out a win that we have done in the games prior to this. Yeah,
I think it's definitely, we're not going to be on the counter attack, are we? It's going to be possession football is going to win us this game, I think. And that's difficult, and it's completely different to the first 3 games, as you say. I'm looking forward to it because I think we need to start playing a little bit of football now. We've ground out our 3 results. We need to start find out what Liverpool goal looks like this season, to coin a phrase like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Do you think that, I mean, you might completely disagree, you know, Swansea City are going to try and play football, and it's whether we've now progressed enough that we can go toe-to-toe with them, which, you know, in years gone by, people have said that was ridiculous, that we'd even question that Liverpool wouldn't go toe-to-toe with Swansea. That being said, they have caused us a few problems in the last few years.
Well, we should have beaten them last year when we played there. We played a fairly open, expansive game, and they did as well. And so it ended up 0-0, which is just weird. But I think there's a danger, because we're coming off the back of winning against Man United. We're playing Swansea, and there might be the element of, well, we can beat United. You know, it's only Swansea. Yeah. And so I think there's a risk there. And I'm not really sure who's going to play at the back.
Yeah,
well, that could be a problem. I don't know.
Well, that's a big question. We're definitely going to come on to. But Mike, you seem to pull a slight face when I mentioned this. Maybe Swansea being the tougher of the tests.
Yeah, I don't think we should. I think Stoke was a tough test. I think Villa away, coming off the back of them beating Arsenal away, was a tough test. And United at home is United at home. Okay,
well maybe allow me to just to change it. Maybe it's a different test to ones we've faced so far. You know, all the sides we've played so far, and even Man United, surprisingly to a certain extent, have, you know, they've set up a certain way against us, you know, and we've basically tried to sort of, you know, we've played a certain way as well. As I said, I would expect us to, if we turn up and play defensively against Swansea, I think they'll pick us apart.
I don't think in the 3 games we've played so far, we've started really well and we've played football for the first half an hour, pretty much until we've scored, and then we've dropped off. And I think we can play Swansea on the counter-attack because we can let them have the ball, soak up the pressure, kind of what we did against United in the second half, although we didn't really have much of an attacking threat. But we've proved that we can soak up pressure when teams have possession. And I think we can, to an extent, allow ourselves to do that again. I agree, I'd rather us go out there and just absolutely play them off the park, which is what we can do. But it's refreshing to know that we can roll our sleeves up and grind the result out when we need to, which we haven't done in the past 3 years. Yeah. So, yeah, in one sense, but in the other sense, yeah, it's going to be nice to see us go out and play and express ourselves a bit more, which I think Swansea will allow us to do. Yeah.
It'd be nice if we took our chances. Yeah, because the reason we played that way against Stoke and we fell back in the second half was because we hadn't taken our chances and just decided to hedge our bets and just got a bit wary about going forward. And against United, we just totally isolated our front men anyway, by going deeper and deeper. It'd be lovely if we got 2-0 up to see how we played.
It'd be quite nice, to be honest. Going back to, as you say, the Stoke game, we haven't created a great deal of chances, have we, Chris?
No, not since then. Yeah, not since then. I think when we've had possession, we've not looked great when we get into that final third this season yet. The back end of last season, we looked fantastic. We knew where everyone was going, but we were counter-attacking a little bit more back end of llast season, where I think now, because we've got 3 wins under our belt, people sort of expect us to take control of the game. And maybe, and me, especially at Anfield as well, I expect us to take control of the game and play possession football. And even going away to Swansea, I would expect us to do that. But I think there'll definitely be an element of us playing on the counter-attack.
Well, it could be that as well. You know, there is an argument that we could take a more pragmatic approach to this as well, because, as I said, we've not necessarily had the joy against Swansea that we either maybe deserved or maybe should have had on balance of play or just on reputation alone. So I can see that. I can see that definitely being an approach we take.
If you look at it in one way, Paul, if you look at the way United played against them on the first day of the season, now my judgment on this is a bit hazy because I was out drinking with him. So I was kind of watching it through big goggles.
Any of that game is absolutely beyond me, but go on, I'm fascinated to see. When the pink elephants charged up the pitch, they were outstanding.
And the Ultimate Warrior scored a hat-trick. Now, what I was going to say is that if you look at it, United let them play football to an extent and then hit them. And then killed them with the chances that they had. And I think that is a similar way. That's United proved how to play against them. But then Man United
United touched a bit lucky in that they scored 2 goals within a minute, and I think that knocked the stuffing out of Swansea because they've been the better side up till now. And I think to some extent that set their season on the course, because although they seem to be doing okay in Europe, in the Premiership they're not playing very well at all. No. I think they won at West Brom, but West Brom can't do a thing this season so far. So I don't see that as any great shakes particularly. And they've got Valencia later on in the week, haven't they? So some of them will have their mind on that.
They've got 3 games next week. They've got, let me just have a quick look. They've got us on Monday. They've got Valencia on Thursday and Palace on the Sunday. Followed by another game on I think the League Cup on the following Wednesday. So, within the space of sort of a week and a half.
He could be under a little bit of pressure if he doesn't start performing in the league, I think. Because he's had his first season now. And he should be judged in the Premier League at the end of the day.
And they spent money this summer, and they brought players
Boney, but they weren't starting him. I put him in my frigging fancy team, thinking he's going to be the boss, and he didn't start him.
Well, Michu said how pleased he is that they're all speaking Spanish in the dressing room. I thought to myself, that can't be a good thing. I really don't think that's good.
That was Ashley Williams is speaking.
Ashley Williams speaking Spanish.
But I like the fact
they're not speaking to him, are they?
But what I like about I like the fact that I think it was on the Sky Sports website, wasn't it? And they had that Michu article in the comments. And they can't be good speaking Spanish. And I wondered if someone goes, they should be speaking English. I bet there's probably a few people who support them are probably a bit annoyed that they speak English.
They should be speaking Welsh.
Why don't they speak Welsh? Yeah, get a grip. Notice that actually, Wales kind of like England, but with words in different languages on roads.
I know some Welsh. A raff. Slow. It's on every frigging road, and it's the only Welsh word I know. And that gong.
That comment about them speaking Spanish though was quite interesting because in a way it could be that the dressing rooms become quite cliquey, and which is why they're having problems because they seem to have a lot of imports from Spain. The lads who've been there a long time, like your Leon Brittons, your Ashley Williams, etc., are going to be...
etc. covers a lot of gaps in knowledge, doesn't it?
Well, them guys are thinking, hang on a second, all these guys have come in and they're taking over the dressing room. We've lost that kind of Swansea spirit.
Yeah, could be. I mean, you've still got couple of players there were in the bottom tier, weren't they? You've come up with them. Is Britain one of them? Am I right thinking yada. Okay, well, let's hope that continues. I think this is the problem with it, and if you because on paper you'd look at Swansea's form and say Liverpool should go into a strong favourite into this game, but just the way football is, the fact that they haven't got the results in the league so far, as Chris says, Michael Archer will be under a little bit of pressure to start getting some points, start getting some wins. I could see them being them being desperate to get points on the board in this, but equally, looking at the 3 games they've got, they've got Valencia on the Thursday. How important is the Europa League to them at this stage? Michu saying apparently they can challenge on all 4 fronts. Good luck with that.
I think you've got to look at that question in the phrase, how important is the Europa League to Michael Laudrup then?
Yeah.
Because he clearly doesn't want to be at that team much longer. He wants European recognition, so I think he's going to throw everything he can.
It's a good point, actually,
to get his credentials up so he gets himself a better job.
Well, they've got a bigger squad this season because of the number of players they bought, so it'll be interesting to see whether he mixes it up between the 2 different teams, 2 different competitions.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just might affect the way he plays against us.
Well, I'd have thought if you've got those 3 games, in a perfect world, I'd say they'd probably look. If you had to write a result off there, they'd probably write ours off if they had to. I don't know if there's any Jack Army-ites watching, then you'll probably massively disagree with this.
The other way you're looking at it is they've essentially had 2 weeks off, haven't they? Yeah. I know there'll be players on international duty and stuff, but it's not the intensive training of week in, week out training at Swansea, so they should be all right to play 2 games or 3 games in a week. Like, it's only 4 weeks into the season.
But Chris, that's devastating to my point.
Right. I apologise.
Well, let's move on back to Liverpool. It was touched on by you. Touched on it there, Dad. We have what I've expansively labelled the Great Defensive Conundrum, because I like to be wary every now and again. We shouldn't have a defensive...
Every now and again,
periodically. We shouldn't have... It's weird to label that, because by all accounts, you'd think, let's keep the defence as samey as possible, with the exception being that Glenn Johnson's out injured, so you'd maybe just drop a right back in. But because of the signings we made on the deadline day, with Sakho coming in and even Alori perhaps to a certain extent, and the fact that Martin Skrtel was exceptional against Man United.
I can see him going 3 at the back, mate. I think he's just going to pull something mad out and go 3 at the back. Like.
Is 3 at the back the future? Because to me it feels like the past. It feels like 1995. I don't know, but that's just my bad 3 at the back prejudices coming out. What do you reckon, Dad?
Well, I mean, I think 3 at the back would be more likely if Johnson was fit. I don't know who you're going to play, who's going to be on the right, who's going to do what Johnson does.
There is that argument,
with the
isn't
3, you know, I mean...
I don't think he'll go 3 at the back in Swansea. I think he'll go 3 at the back in the future.
But, you know, he's got... I mean, you say, you know, we played the same defence, apart from Johnson, but of course, you know, Skrtel coming in has changed things completely.
Yeah.
So, you know, does he keep Skrtel and Agger because they played okay? Although Sean Rodgers didn't seem to think they did, but they were okay.
Doesn't like Danny Agger, that's what it is.
And Kolo Touré's been great.
Yeah.
So if Touré's fit, does he come back straight in?
I think Touré
and then
should
he's bought Sakho, presumably, to go in the first team. So I have no idea what team he's going to play.
It's a nice conundrum to have, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, completely.
This time last season we were panicking about who was going to play because we had no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which kid's going to come from? Who's going to step up from the reserves and be a shining light?
Yeah.
This season we've got loads of centre halves.
Don't have to worry about that.
I even heard the rumour that Iliori might actually play a right back.
Why not?
I've heard that as well.
Let us know in the comments section underneath, actually, who do you think? I mean, the back 4 is a real issue. Should it be a back 4? Should it be a back 3? Does Sakho, having spent £15 million on a centre half, does he go straight in? If Kolo Touré's fully fit, does he immediately dislodge Skrtel? Is that unfair on Skrtel? Answer all of these questions and more in the comment section underneath.
Wisdom's playing right back. To answer that question before you even...
Wisdom's playing right back.
Do you know who I'd fancy is at the right wing back? Hendo could do a job there, mate.
This is a hell shout, actually.
Well, he couldn't do much of a job as a winger, so I'm not sure.
I don't know, anyone who's at the Notts County game can see Raheem Sterling. And also play right back.
He was brilliant right back, wasn't he?
That's astonishing. Right, we'll come on to talk about how we're going to line up in a second, but first, it's plug time. Do watch this week. This is Best Bets show. It's back. We did one, had 2 weeks off, back again. It worked really well for people last week.
It did, didn't it? It worked really well for other people.
Chris won a number of people a considerable amount of money with his betting suggestions. So do check out that show. It'll be available near the weekend, Thursday or Friday, on the YouTube channel and of course on the website. 2
of the 4 bets came in. Now, I'm not promising I'm going to keep that hit rate up all season.
Did you put them on yourself?
No, I forgot.
Yeah.
Because we filmed so early in the week. By the time the weekend came, I just forgotten what I'd fucking said. Which is, you know, I forget literally as I'm talking.
No way of checking.
It's not like it's on the internet.
Do check out
is that what we're doing it for, the internet? What is this tinterweb that you speak about?
We've currently got a little bit of a deal with Bet365. So if you're interested in signing up for an online company, do it. To do that, we'll put the link in the video info to this as well. Anyway, we've also coming up in a few minutes' time. We've got music from Wilson's Mind.
That's not the ball Wilson? Out of Castaway, I take it.
Wilson Minds, the S is one way or the other. Like, obviously, I know them very well. The boss, regardless of the fact that I don't know how to say the name. Wilson Minds is on in a minute. But first and foremost, let's get back to what we were talking about, which was
Liverpool,
Swansea.
The right back. So do we think Wisdom's going to come in? I think Chris's idea, if we do go to 3 at the back, and I actually said this to someone this week as well, I think our best right wing back at the minute could be Jordan Henderson. Anyone care to disagree?
I fully agree.
I disagree with that totally.
Disagree with that totally?
I think he's our best midfielder.
This is also an interesting... but you put Mike, let's hang on a second. I was like, oh, no, it's Mike, hang on a second. Take your Hendo tinted glasses off.
No, I still think he's our best midfielder. His work rate in the middle of the park, you can't lose that.
Yeah. But allow us to just ignore that pretty cast-iron statement for a moment for the sake of the discussion.
And pretend it's not completely true as well.
For killing the conversation.
I know, yeah. No, but I go back, and we'll go back a couple of seasons when Hendo was, by all accounts, rubbish. And he had to play right back against Blackburn when we went down to 10 men. And he played right back, right wing back, right mid and right wing. He played the entire right side for Liverpool and like 3 men on the pitch at the same time. So I'm saying that although it's not ideal, Dad,
but all that season he played on the wing, on the right wing, and he was awful. Yeah. So why would you even contemplate him being?
But with wing back, it's just about getting. You just need to be able to get up and down, don't you?
No.
No. Okay. Well, what do you think?
You need to be able to cross the ball. You need to be able to beat men.
Martin Kelly could play that job.
Can he though? He can't though. He's fucking.
He'll get injured.
Hamstrings.
Apparently, he's not going to be fit until October.
Well, if someone told me this, right? Why the fuck was he on the bench against Man United if he's not going to be fit? And does this explain John Flanagan's appearance on the bench?
Yeah. He played 90 minutes with the Rezzies, didn't he? So, for the 21s.
I think he's going to play Wisdom, isn't he? It's the obvious choice to make. He's done that.
4-4-2 will be Wisdom. He's not going to change a winning formula at the moment.
I think the only decision he's got to make is who are his 2 centre backs. I think Wisdom will just be the right back.
Hendo centre back.
Stevie.
Hendo will gold at this rate. I mean, can he play everywhere?
He can do anything.
Super Hendo.
Henderson can play, and he can also be a steward at the same time and serve on the drinks counter all at the same time.
I'm not even sure he'll play.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, why? Who's going to?
Joe Allen.
No, Moses is going to be playing, isn't he? So I don't actually think he's necessarily going to have a third central midfield player.
I think maybe
Coutinho's going to play in the middle,
is going to play
and he's going to play Gerrard and Lucas behind him.
Come to you. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's been on the show with Aubrey. I'm used to having to
fight for everywhere.
Throw elbows.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Mike. What were you saying there?
I think if Moses plays, he plays instead of Aspas.
That's another interesting shout as well. I can see both. To be perfectly honest, I suspect your idea there that is probably a little too attacking for Swansea away. If you get what I mean, I can see Hendo because I can't see a team without Hendo in it at the minute. You know what I mean? Because we don't have anyone with his engine in the side. So I think it would be folly to take him out at this point when he's in such good form as well. I mean, let us know again if you care to disagree with any of this, and I know you will. You always do. Leave it in the comments below. How do you think Liverpool should line up? Should Henderson get dropped? Should Aspas get dropped? Etc. Etc. Okay then, Chris. Any thoughts on what the starting 11 should be then?
I think it's likely that it'll be Mignolet in goal, Wisdom right back. I think if Touré's fit, he's back in with Aga. I think Enrique stays left back. Lucas, Gerrard. I think it'll probably be Henderson, maybe edging out towards the right. Coutinho maybe centre, and left Moses, surprisingly enough, and then up top Sturridge. It's
going to be interesting if Sturridge is fit, because I worry for our ability to score / win games without Daniel Sturridge at the minute. So hopefully the international break has done him really good. There's some fantastic Sturridge quotes about the England side, which we're going to be talking about on Thursday's show on the redmentv.com, so do check that out. We had an email this week, I think it was from Bob, that was what it was titled anyway. I didn't get a chance to thank him, but saying that he wasn't aware of what we were doing on the subscriber shows and what have you. So what we did, we put last week's The Final Word show out, which was taken actually from the live stream the other week, where we basically every week after a match we do about 45 minutes to an hour looking back in detail on every game. That's just Wednesday night show on the subscriber show. Thursdays is the Reds Roundup, which is half an hour looking at all the Liverpool news, and Friday is the Friday football show, which is the most imaginatively titled football show in the
I kind of like it now.
Is it growing on you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's half an hour looking ahead to the Premier League, taking the Liverpool blinkers off. So if you want to try that out, it's on the redmentv.com, and it's free for a month. Anyway, advertising pitch over. Let's have a little musical interlude from Wilson Minds. And yeah, Dave's trying to highlight something to me, which we'll come back to in a moment.
Yeah, so this next one we're going to do is called Shanks Was the Man, which he was. And yeah, we haven't jammed this before. This is a song that wrote my father-in-law about 2 years ago, and so yeah, we'll give it a whirl, see how it goes.
Absolutely fantastic work. A little bit of Shankly coming into the show. If you want to see them, they've got an album launch party coming up on the 5th of October. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
At the Zanzibar in Liverpool, so do get down there and check them out as well. And also, we'll be putting their Twitter account out throughout the week in connection with this, so do follow them on Twitter as well if you want to listen to more of their stuff. Absolutely out fucking standing.
Go to Zanzibar, don't wear your best trainers.
Don't wear your best trainers down the Zanzibar.
Stick to the floor.
And don't drink the draft. Stick to bottles.
Stick to bottles. Always important lessons from the music scene in Liverpool, right here first on the Redmen TV. Okay, score predictions then. Mike, how do you think it's going to go down?
I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay.
1-0.
1-0. Chris?
1-0 Liverpool.
I think it's going to be 1-1. Yeah, I know, not exciting. I think I said this last week. Like, what?
1-1. It's like...
Yeah. No, again, much similar to the Man United result. I think what I want to see from the next 2 games from Liverpool is I want us to stay unbeaten. Obviously I want us to win, of course, it goes without saying. I just want us to come through the first 5 games of the season unbeaten, and so when Suarez comes back in, we're in a position to be able to say, yeah, lads, sit on the bench and try and break your way back into the team.
You're not good enough to get in the best team in the league.
Yeah, exactly, you know, because I still...
We can still do that if we win.
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, moreover, if we win, of course, he's got no chance of getting back in if we're winning. Like, but what I mean is, I just want to see us keep this run going. We're going to have to drop points at some point. If we're going to drop points, I'd rather drop 2.
If you look at the next 4 league games, though, Swansea, Southampton, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, Sunderland.
Yeah.
Should be taking maximum points.
Should be, except that's basically what everyone says before we drop points in a ridiculous fashion to teams we should be beating. So thanks very much for that, Mike.
Anyway, 35 more 1-0 wins and we've won the league.
Well, exactly. Mike may well have just turned himself into the new Chris Pajak there by jinxing that, so we'll come back.
Finally.
_Axter if you want to give Mike any abuse for basically...
If you give abuse, you just get blocked. So.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching the show this week. Do leave your score predictions, do leave your lineup predictions, do leave any feedback or thoughts on the show. Do go and subscribe, do check it out. It's completely free for a month. I've said this loads of times, but apparently I'm not saying it clear enough. It's free for a month. Just check it out. If you think it's shit, you can sack it up.
Well, how long is it free for?
A month.
A month?
A whole
Now, is that 31 days or 4 weeks?
31 days.
How do you know that?
Unless it's a 30-day month.
So,
or a 28-day one.
And hashtag Mike's the Blitz.
Hashtag Mike's the Blitz.
Yeah. Isn't it...
Why does it make a difference whether it's 30, 31 days or 30 days? What happens if they start on the 5th of the month? Does it count 30 days or 31?
Why is there got to be a question every week I don't have the answer to, like, you know what I mean?
Is it free till the end of that month? So if you started on the 30th, was it only free till the 31st?
No, it's free for an entire month period.
Right.
If you have any further questions, email Chris at the Redmen TV.
I can tell them the answer.
Yeah, exactly. And the answer is?
If you start on the 5th, it's the 5th of next month.
Excellent. There you go. It seems simple enough, but sometimes, you know.
So sometimes that's 30 days, sometimes it's 31.
Yeah, so pick your month wisely.
Pick your month wisely. It's meant to be a very simple little thing.
Well, you're telling people not to sign up this month, then aren't you? Because it's only 30 days.
Oh, John, you are!
All I'm saying is don't try to play in February. No, do. Doesn't matter anyway. Look, it's £2 a fucking month anyway. You know what I mean? Look, it's worth keeping all the velocity Man down. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you on Thursday's Reds Roundup show or Friday's Fratty's football show. Thank you very much for watching and good night. Ta-da. Do you want to have a moment?
Ooh, sir.